The birth of Nas Daily. 1 minute, global impact. Nas Daily burst onto the scene with a simple yet powerful premise. 1-minute videos showcasing inspiring stories from around the world. His name, a play on his Palestinian heritage, became synonymous with bite-sized positivity. Nusser Yassin, the man behind the brand, captivated audiences with his infectious energy and fast-paced editing style. Each video was a whirlwind tour of a new country, a new culture, a new perspective. From the bustling streets of Tokyo to the serene landscapes of Iceland, Nas Daily offered a glimpse into the human experience in all its diversity. His videos resonated with a global audience hungry for connection and inspiration. Millions tuned in daily, eager to embark on these virtual adventures. Nas Daily became a viral sensation, his videos shared and reshared across social media platforms. He was lauded for his optimism, his ability to find the extraordinary in the ordinary. For a time, Nas Daily was the epitome of positive storytelling in the digital age, a beacon of hope in an increasingly fractured world. Evolution or deviation? This is the question that has been on the minds of many as they observe the transformation of Nas Daily. What started as a simple, heartfelt project has evolved into something much grander, but not without its share of controversy. The content shift that sparked backlash. Nas Daily, once celebrated for its raw and authentic 1-minute videos, has seen a significant shift in its content style. This shift has not gone unnoticed and has sparked a considerable amount of backlash from his audience. As Nas Daily's popularity soared, so too did the production value of his videos. The simple, unpolished charm of his early work gave way to high-definition drone shots and meticulously edited sequences. This evolution in production quality was a double-edged sword. Gone were the simple 1-minute glimpses into different cultures. In their place were longer, slicker productions. While these new videos were visually stunning and more in-depth, they lacked the spontaneous, unfiltered feel that had initially captivated his audience. This shift, while seemingly natural for a growing brand, alienated some of his early followers. They felt a sense of loss, as if the Nas Daily they had come to love was no longer the same. The intimate connection they once felt was fading. The raw authenticity that initially drew viewers in was perceived as being replaced by a more manufactured, commercialized approach. The charm of seeing Nas in everyday settings, interacting with locals, and sharing their stories seemed to be overshadowed by a more polished, less personal style. The focus on brevity, once a hallmark of the Nas Daily brand, gave way to extended narratives and more elaborate storytelling. While some appreciated the deeper dives into various topics, others missed the quick, impactful stories that could be consumed in just a minute. While some welcomed the greater depth, others yearned for the concise, impactful style of old. The audience was now divided, with some embracing the change and others feeling left behind. This marked a turning point in the Nas Daily phenomenon. The brand was at a crossroads, trying to balance growth and innovation with the core values that had initially garnered its loyal following. What was once universally praised now faced a growing chorus of dissent. The community that had once rallied around Nas Daily was now fragmented, with passionate debates about the direction of the content. The man who had once been celebrated for his humility was now being accused of arrogance. His increasing presence in the videos, often positioning himself as the central figure, led to accusations of self-promotion and ego. Critics pointed to his increasingly self-promotional content, his tendency to position himself as the center of every story. This shift in focus from the stories of others to his own persona was seen as a betrayal by some of his earliest supporters. The seeds of doubt had been sown, and the backlash, once it began, was swift and unforgiving. The storm of criticism grew, with many questioning whether Nas Daily had lost its way, deviating from its original mission of sharing authentic human stories. Apo Wangada tattoo, a thumbprint, and a firestorm of controversy. The controversy surrounding Apo Wangad, a revered tattoo artist from the Philippines, proved to be a pivotal moment in the decline of Nas Daily. Apo Wangad, also known as Maria Oge, is a 104-year-old tattoo artist from the Kalinga province. She is the last Mamba Batak, a traditional Kalinga tattooist, and her work is deeply rooted in the cultural heritage of her people. Her tattoos are not just body art, they are symbols of identity, history, and social status within the Kalinga community. Nas Daily offered a course on traditional tattooing, featuring Wang Ode through his online education platform, Nas Academy. The course was marketed as an exclusive opportunity to learn from a living legend, promising to teach the ancient art of Kalinga tattooing to a global audience. This initiative was part of Nas Daily's broader mission to share unique stories and cultural practices from around the world. However, the course was met with immediate backlash, with many accusing Nas Daily of exploiting the elderly artist for profit. Critics argued that the commercialization of Wang Od's knowledge was a form of cultural appropriation, reducing a sacred tradition to a mere commodity. The backlash was swift and intense, with social media platforms becoming battlegrounds for heated debates. At the heart of the controversy was a dispute over consent. Nas Daily claimed that Wang Od had willingly agreed to participate in the course, and he presented a document bearing her thumbprint as proof. This document was supposed to serve as a legal agreement, indicating that Wang Od had given her informed consent to be featured in the course. While Nas Daily maintained that Wang Od had given her consent, evidenced by a thumbprint on a document, her family claimed she had not fully understood the agreement. They argued that the document had been presented to her without proper explanation, and that she had been misled about its contents. The family insisted that Wang Od, who speaks only her native Kalinga language, had not been provided with an adequate translation of the agreement. They argued that there had been a lack of proper translation, and that she had been taken advantage of. The family's claims added fuel to the fire, as many people began to question the ethics of Nas Daily's practices. The situation highlighted the importance of clear communication and respect for cultural differences, especially when dealing with indigenous communities. The incident sparked outrage, particularly among Filipinos, who felt that their culture was being commodified without respect or understanding. Many saw the course as an attempt to profit from their heritage without giving due credit or compensation to the community. The controversy also brought attention to the broader issue of how indigenous knowledge and traditions are often exploited by outsiders. Nas Daily's attempts to defend himself were met with skepticism and anger, further fueling the flames of controversy. He released statements and videos explaining his side of the story, but these efforts did little to quell the outrage. Many people felt that his responses were dismissive and failed to address the core issues of consent and cultural appropriation. The Apo Wang Od incident cast a long shadow over the Nas Daily brand, raising serious questions about his ethics and his treatment of the cultures he claimed to celebrate. The controversy served as a cautionary tale about the complexities of cross-cultural interactions and the need for sensitivity and respect when engaging with indigenous communities. It also underscored the importance of obtaining genuine, informed consent and ensuring that all parties fully understand the terms of any agreement. As seeds of doubt, the Cacao Project and accusations of exploitation. The controversy surrounding the Cacao Project, an initiative launched by Nas Daily to support cacao farmers in the Philippines, further tarnished his reputation. The project, which was initially met with enthusiasm and hope, soon became a focal point of criticism and skepticism. Many people were excited about the potential benefits it could bring to the local farmers and the community at large. However, as more details emerged, the narrative began to shift. What was initially presented as a philanthropic endeavor aimed at empowering local communities was soon mired in accusations of exploitation and cultural insensitivity. Critics claimed that the project did not take into account the real needs and voices of the local farmers. Instead, it seemed to prioritize the image and brand of Nas Daily over the actual welfare of the people it was supposed to help. This disconnect between intention and execution became a major point of contention. Critics argued that the project was more about Nas Daily's self-promotion than about genuinely helping the farmers. They pointed out that the media coverage and promotional materials often focused more on Nas Daily's involvement and less on the farmers' stories and experiences. This led to accusations that the project was a form of poverty porn, exploiting the struggles of the farmers for personal gain and social media clout. They pointed to the high prices of the chocolate produced through the project, which made it inaccessible to many Filipinos. The premium pricing strategy was seen as a way to market the chocolate to a global audience, rather than making it affordable for the local community. This raised questions about who the project was really benefiting and whether it was truly aligned with its stated goals of supporting local farmers. There were also concerns about the long-term sustainability of the project and whether it would truly benefit the farmers in the long run. Some experts argued that the project lacked a comprehensive plan for sustainable development and that it might leave the farmers worse off once the initial funding and media attention faded. The focus on short-term gains and quick results was seen as a major flaw in the project's design. Nas Daly's responses to the criticisms were seen by many as tone-deaf and dismissive, further alienating those who had once supported him. Instead of addressing the concerns head-on and engaging in meaningful dialogue, his statements often came across as defensive and out of touch. This only served to deepen the divide between him and the community he claimed to support. The Cacao Project debacle, coupled with the Apo Wang Od controversy, painted a picture of Nas Daly as someone more interested in profiting from other cultures than in genuinely understanding and respecting them. The Apo Wang Od incident, where Nas Daly was accused of exploiting the cultural heritage of the legendary tattoo artist for his own gain, further fueled the narrative that he was more focused on his brand than on meaningful cultural exchange. The once positive narrative surrounding Nas Daly had been irrevocably altered. What was once seen as a platform for positive change and global understanding had now become a symbol of exploitation and cultural insensitivity. The backlash was swift and severe, with many former supporters turning their backs on him and his projects. He was now facing an uphill battle to regain the trust of his audience. The road to redemption would require more than just words. It would demand genuine actions and a commitment to truly understanding and respecting the cultures he sought to highlight. Only time would tell if Nas Daly could rebuild his reputation and restore the faith of those he had disappointed.